Hello, and welcome back to Peer-to-Peer English. I'm Rob.
I'm Emily. Today we are going to talk about some vocabulary words that we use to describe the taste of different foods. These are important terms to know when you go to a restaurant because they might be on the menu and they do not always translate correctly when using a dictionary.
That's right. As Emily said, these are all words to describe how food tastes, so they are all adjectives. Let's look at the first word together. The first word is spicy.
When foods are spicy, they contain spices. Spices are little plants or vegetables that add flavoring to a dish and generally have a very strong taste, like pepper, ginger, or saffron. Generally, when something is called spicy, it has a strong flavor and it's very hot tasting. An example of something that might be spicy is a pasta sauce with pepper, basil, and chili.
The opposite of spicy is bland. When foods are described as bland, they don't have a lot of flavor. These foods are generally not hot tasting, and you might need to add some spices to make them a little more interesting. An example of bland food is cereal with no flavoring or plain bread.
Another word that we use to describe food is sour. When something is sour, it has a very sharp taste that often makes us pucker our lips, like this. We might also see foods like this described as acidic or tart. A lemon is an example of a food that is sour, acidic, or tart.
The opposite of sour is sweet. Foods that are sweet have a pleasant taste and usually have a lot of sugar. Some examples of foods that are sweet are chocolate, honey, or Emily's favorite, ice cream.
A different word that we use to describe food is salty. Foods that are salty have a lot of salt in them, and they often dry out your mouth. Foods that are described as salty include popcorn or French fries. Rob's favorite salty food is a salty pretzel.
We also use the word nutty when describing some foods. This means that the specific food tastes like nuts. The food doesn't actually have to have nuts in order to taste this way. For example, some cheeses are described as nutty. Even though there are no nuts in the cheese, it tastes like there could be.
We can also describe food as fresh. This means the food is crisp tasting and that it was recently prepared. We often use this word to describe fruits and vegetables that were just picked from the plant or that just came from the ground. I might say, the apple is fresh because it just fell from the tree.
Another word we can use to describe foods is zesty. Zesty is a fun word to say, and it means the food is full of flavor and has a very interesting or unique taste. We can describe an orange as zesty. When you eat an orange, it is full of flavor and it has an interesting and kind of special taste.
Another word we can use to describe foods is creamy. We use this to describe foods that contain cream or taste like they contain cream. Cream is a white substance that is created when we mix milk quickly. It is thick and smooth. Some foods that are creamy include white pasta sauce, guacamole, and yogurt. Notice that guacamole doesn't actually contain cream, but it is smooth and thick, so it tastes this way.
We can also use the word bitter when describing foods. When something is bitter, it has a sharp, strong taste that people normally don't like. We often use this word to describe fruits and vegetables that aren't quite ready to eat. We can also describe certain types of coffee as bitter because they have a really strong taste. We might need to add milk or sugar to the coffee to make it taste less bitter.
Sometimes we describe foods as crunchy. Crunchy foods are foods that make a loud sound or a crunch when we bite into them. This includes foods like peanuts, potato chips, and green beans. Crunchy.
The last word we want to discuss today is savory. We use this word to describe foods that are heavy and make us feel full or satisfied after eating them. This includes foods like steaks, ravioli, or even fried noodles. We might feel tired after eating a lot of savory foods.
So these are a few adjectives that we use to describe the taste of foods. We hoped you learned some new words during this video.
For more resources, check out our website, Peer-to-Peer English. You can also book one-on-one private lessons with either of us from the website. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel to see when our next video comes out.
Comment below with some other words that you use to describe food. Or try to use the words we talked about today in a sentence to describe your favorite dish. We'll let you know if they sound okay.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.